Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Welcome back if you guys have been here since my first video, and I'm actually very excited for what we're gonna do today. Since I'm feeling fall all around, September just started. I feel like once August ends and once we get back into school, September, fall already started. So what I wanted to do today is talk about the books I recommend you guys read if you guys want books that feel very fall-like, if you guys want books that make you feel all the fall vibes. And I'm going to be talking about the books I think will give you those vibes. So let's just get right into it. First book I have for this video is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is a beautiful book. I read this recently around July and it was so good. This is about Bree and Jacob, who are ER physicians, and Bree is struggling with her brother who needs a kidney donor, and Jacob just moved from hospitals and now works at her hospital, and they basically get on the wrong foot. But what Jacob does to apologize for what happens is he writes her a letter. He writes her an apology letter. And she realizes that she may have misjudged Jacob, that Jacob isn't rude or Satan, and she writes him back. So they are just going back and forth, writing each other letters throughout work and throughout their spare time. And later on, Jacob gives her the best gift possible, and that is a kidney donor for her brother. And this is all in the back, so I'm not spoiling anything when I say he gives her brother his kidney. So then later on, he calls in a favor for her and she can't deny. And this is strangers, friends to lovers, and this is also fake dating. They do end up fake dating later on in the book, and the book was just priceless. It was hilarious. Abby Jimenez's writing is so fast-paced, so funny, so heartfelt, but also has a lot of depth. This book, I feel like Abby Jimenez's books are perfect for any time and any season throughout every year. Like, I feel like you can read her books anywhere at any time. Like, that's how good it was. Next book I have is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is a fantasy book. This is book one in the Caraval trilogy. This is about Scarlett and Julian and her sister Donatella. They live on an island, and Caraval is like this type of circus. It's a game that you get invited to play every year, but it's by invite only, and the sisters have been writing letters to the Master Legend, who is the master of Caraval, and he recently writes back with 2 letters, and he also makes sure Julian gets them there. So Julian, Scarlett, and Donatella, they go to Caraval, but Donatella ends up missing. She ends up missing as in this year, you get to win a prize if you win the game. And the prize is a wish. In order to win the game, you have to find Donatella. Scarlett could care less about the wish. She wants to find her sister. So even though she doesn't like Julian, she asks him to help her because he has played the game before. So she asks him to help her find her sister. And this is honestly a really fun book to read over the fall. It does give a type of vibe where you just want to light a candle, get on a couch with a blanket, a coffee, and just read this book. Like, it was fun to read. Her writing was very interesting. It was fun to read about. The plot twist was incredible. I loved the plot in this book. It was just really enjoyable. I rated this 4 stars. So I definitely recommend this, as well as book 2. I can't really say I recommend book 3 since I haven't read book 3 yet, but I recommend book 1 and 2. This is what book 2 looks like. Like, I think they're both super, honestly, the authentic reads fall. I don't know. I feel like both of them just reads fall. Next book I have is, I'm actually very excited to talk about, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is Beauty and the Beast inspired. I say when you get into this book, think about Beauty and the Beast and you'll fall in love with it. I'm positive. Like, I rated this book 5 stars. It was a roller coaster of emotions. The plot was incredible. There was a lot of action, a little bit of politics. All of it was just breathtakingly perfect. Like, perfect. This is book 1 in the ACOTAR series. I'm pretty sure there's 5 or 6 books in that series. I really want to get into book 2. I do have it with me, but I'm very intimidated by it, so I'm stalling. This is about a huntress who is named Feyre, who accidentally kills a wolf that's disguised as a fae, and the High Lord of the Spring Court, Hamlin, goes to the human world to find Feyre, and he says, since you killed one of my men, which you cannot do, it's against the laws, I have to take you as my prisoner in retribution for his life. So in order to save her family, she does go along with it. She hates him at first, though. She despises him. She has an icy attitude towards him, and later on, though, as they spend more time together in the Fae world, her iciness towards him kind of melts away and turns more into passion. So it's literally Beauty and the Beast part 2, like written in a book with different twist to it. It's like Beauty and the Beast with a twist to it. I don't know. But the plot the plot was incredible. Her writing style was, honestly, I feel like all fantasy books take a little bit to get into because the authors try to set up the world for you, and it does take a lot of mind space and a lot of attention. But the more you get into the book, the more sucked in you get into it. Like, I feel like this is the type of book where you forget you're reading a book in the first place. Like, I don't know why, whenever I read, if the book is so good, if I'm so into the book, I feel like I'm watching a movie rather than reading a book. I don't know. Like, I just picture it as a movie, and it's just insane. This book was so good. I gave this book 5 stars. The ending was insane. Like, the ending left me, like, in shock. I was in shock finishing this book. Next book I have is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is book 1 in the Inheritance Games trilogy. She recently came out with a 4th book called The Brothers Hawthorne, and I'm pretty sure it's either The Brothers Hawthorne or The Hawthorne Brothers. I don't know, I keep mixing that up. I haven't read the last book yet. I have been dying to get my hands on it, but I just have to be a little bit patient and wait to get it in my TBR cart. I just have to wait a little longer. Hopefully I'll get it sooner rather than later. But this is about Avery Grams, who is a girl in high school who is trying to finish high school and just move on with her life, get on with her life, start her life. However, she does get a letter, an invitation of a reading of a will of Tobias Hawthorne, a billionaire who recently just passed away, and she's never met this guy in her life. So she doesn't even know why she's invited. But she gets invited, and she meets her family. She meets his 4 grandsons, who are brothers, the Hawthorne brothers, and they all just despise her at this point because what ends up happening is she inherits everything. She inherits all of his company, all of his money, all of his properties. She inherits everything. Grayson, who is the middle brother of the 4 brothers, thinks that she's a con woman. He thinks that she might have conned their grandfather into giving the inheritance to her instead of him, because Grayson was initially the heir to inherit all of the money and everything and stuff like that. Jameson, however, who is the other brother, thinks that she could be their last riddle, their last game, because every Saturday since they were kids, their grandfather would make them solve riddles, and in return for whoever solved the riddle first gets to pick a hobby that they practice for an entire year. So Jameson thinks that she could be the last riddle, their last Saturday hoorah type of thing, and they end up finding out that that's not the case. And however, though, as Avery literally has like a bunch of people wanting to kill her at this point, she has to move into the Hawthorne house, and it's filled with a bunch of angry family members that don't like her at this time. So, but you're just seeing throughout the whole series, Avery become family with the brothers, with their family. You see them just unite a family bond, unite in friendship and stuff like that, and you're just seeing them solve these riddles from book 1 to book 3. I'm not sure about book 4. I'm very excited about book 4, but this book was just insane. The plot twist in this book, the mysteries, the riddles, all of it was fun. When I say I binged this in a week, I say I binged the entire series in a week. I couldn't put it down, and because of riddles, because of mysteries, because of the covers, this book, the entire trilogy, gives fall. Like, it just gives fall. I definitely recommend this. Next book I have is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is insane. Think about How to Train Your Dragon, Divergent, and Hunger Games. Mix it all together and you get this. It's insane. One of my favorite quotes though is in the back, and it's like, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. So this revolves around Violet, who has grown up to become a scribe, to live among books, to write down history, learn about history. She has grown up learning how to become a scribe. However, her dad recently passes away, and her mother, who is a writer and the general, decides that Violet isn't going to be a scribe. She is going to go into writers college and she is going to become a writer. However, Violet is very, very frail, very brittle, and dragons, like she says in the summary, don't like to bond with fragile. So in this book, basically, there's a bunch of dragons where you have to bond with at the end of the year, and if you're not bonded with a dragon, you either leave college bonded with a dragon, or you don't leave college at all. Like, you end up passing away, I would say. So this book was insane. There's a lot of politics in this. The found family in this, you just see Violet become very frail. A lot of people want to kill her because her mother's the governor, and a lot of people hate her mother, and she just makes so many friends, and you just see their found family grow. Like, they grow from friends to family. Like, it's beautiful. And there's a little bit of a love triangle in here. It's super fast paced. I'm not gonna lie, it did take all month to read this. It's not that it took that long to read. I just didn't want it to end. Like, the book was so good, I just didn't want the book to end. So that's that for this book. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Comment down what books you plan on reading this fall, and I really hope you guys got some recommendations of books to read this fall, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. Bye!